Welcome to Center College's Admitted International Student webinar. We are very excited to welcome you to a panel discussion of current international students, and they'll be sharing their experiences with you today. So the panel discussion part of it is going to take about 30 to 40 minutes, and we'll set aside some time at the end, about 15 to 20 minutes for your questions. So you're more than welcome to interact with us in the chat, type in questions, send emojis. We welcome those. But during the Q&A, you're certainly welcome to and encouraged to unmute yourself, introduce yourself, and ask your questions to these amazing folks here. So welcome once again. My name is Joy Joy. I am the Associate Director of International Recruitment here at Center College. And I have a couple of folks here with me, and I'll let them introduce themselves as well. I have my three Global Center ambassadors who are current international students, and I'll let them tell you all about their experiences at Center, but we'll start with introductions. So for all the student panelists, and then we'll also go to Emily, who's my colleague on this call as well. So for all the students, and then we'll go to Emily. Please introduce yourself, include your year, your major, some of the things that you're involved in on campus, as well as where you call home that is not in Danville. So who wants to go first?
I
Anna, you
can
want
go
to go first?
first.
All right.
Yes. Hi, I'm Anna. I am sophomore here at Center College. I just declared my major as behavioral neuroscience. And the place I call home is probably Georgia, Tbilisi, where I'm from. Um, but yeah, that's about me.
And what are some of the things that you're involved in on campus, Anna?
Okay, sorry, I missed that.
Oh, you're fine.
Um, I'm I'm GCA Global Center Ambassador. I'm also International Student Association's PR and hopefully upcoming Vice President. I also was International Student Orientation Leader um, for this year, and I just got my acceptance for resident assistant, so I'm gonna be an RA next year. So yeah, those are the things. And also other than that, I'm tutoring in German. I am like teaching assistant for chemistry lab. Um, and yeah, I work several jobs on campus.
Congratulations on getting the resident assistant job.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Well, thank you, Anna. Um, I think Joseph unmuted himself, so I think he's ready to go. Why don't you go next?
Okay. Hi guys, I'm Joseph Luo. I'm from China and I'm a first year. And I haven't declared my major yet, but I think it's gonna be neuroscience and involvements on campus. I am GCA as well, and also I'm on the lead team of a Christian group on campus, and also involved in International Student Association as the first year representative, and couple more jobs on campus, and yes, that's also Chinese tutor. Yes, that's me.
Amazing. Thank you, Joseph. And Maril.
Hi everyone. I'm Rael De Silva. I'm from India, Ahmedabad, India specifically. I'm a computer science major here on Center's campus and an international studies minor. I'm a junior, which is third year, and my involvements are I'm a resident assistant um, and a global center ambassador, like everybody else here. And I'm also a part of a club. I mean, an exec member in a club, which is the South Asian Cultural Association, where I'm the founder and the president.
Amazing. Thank you, Maril. And Emily.
Hi, everybody. I'm Emily Mooney. I work alongside Joy Joy in our admission office. I'm still relatively new to Center, but I'm excited to be here.
Amazing. That's everybody on Center side. because this is recorded, we won't do introductions of admitted students while it's recorded. So we're going to dive right in, and today we'll be covering a couple of different things. So we're not going to be focusing on just one particular thing. We're going to be talking about a couple of different things, different opportunities at Center. And because Center College is a college, and you're here to learn, so we're going to start off with learning opportunities. So this question is for Anna and Joseph. In thinking about general education courses and liberal arts education, because Center is a liberal arts and sciences college, how would you say that you have benefited from Center's general education requirements and the way we study and learn about things here?
I can go first. I think how I benefited from the general education and also this liberal arts college idea is it allowed me to, it didn't really require me to declare my major in my first year. So I still get the chances to explore, and also the general education. And that's what got me into neuroscience. I was gonna go with psychology, and but then later on attending a couple webinar, and I figured, oh, neuroscience might be also very interesting to me. And general education courses, I feel like because we are here, we are required to take some other classes outside your major. It actually allows me to get into some other majors that I'm not really majoring in it, but I can, taste how it just see how it looks like. And also it's some classes are extremely interesting, but maybe I don't have the time to majoring in it, but yes, I get to have the fun, and that's me.
As for me, I think Joseph said a lot of great points, but as for me, I feel like the liberal arts education was one of the main reasons I wanted to come to the United States and then Center specifically, because I was not 100% sure what I wanted to do. Whereas in my country, when you go to university, you need to like have your major already declared, you need to know what you want to do. But here you get to like explore different subjects and different expertise in different areas. So I kind of knew I wanted to study neuroscience, but I was also interested in other things like computer science, and because it's so attractive, such an attractive major. So I took a course in computer science, and I know for sure it's not for me. I'm not doing that ever again. But just having this comfort of taking different courses really helps you realize what you like and what you don't like. And also the fact that you declare your major by the end of second year, very comfortable. So you get to explore more throughout the 2 years. But yeah.
No, that's great. I think both of you brought up really good points about being at a small liberal arts college where there is a lot of resources to help students in the class, but there's also obviously flexibility. And I think some of you heard earlier from Anna that she just declared her major. And at Center, you don't declare your major until the end of your sophomore year, your second year. So during your first 2 years, you're exploring different classes. And for example, Anna said she took computer science and she knew that it wasn't for her. You might have those moments at Center for sure. And you might also run into situations where you take a class that you haven't taken before and you're like, okay, this might be of interest to me. And that might be something that you might explore. And I think the flexibility that we offer here allows students to be able to do that. So great.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, sorry, Georgia, I'm just gonna add a little point. So also the cool thing is you can combine two completely different majors. For instance, you can, like Marilla's doing, like he's doing computer science and also international studies. Those are like completely different majors. But he's doing both. So I think that's, or minoring in international students, I'm sorry. I don't remember exactly, but that's so cool because I'm also thinking to do something similar, like next to neuroscience, maybe do sociology as a minor or something, because I'm taking sociology class, and I think it's very interesting. So you can also do those type of things. It's more flexible to design your own whole major.
Yes. I actually know a guy who triple majored in computer science, religion, and painting, I think. So it's yes, adding up to what I'm saying.
No, that's great. Triple major. That's actually terrific. Must be a lot of requirements to fulfill. If that's your thing, you're certainly able to do that here. I think that's evidence of that. Maril, I know Anna sort of mentioned that you're minoring in international studies and majoring in computer science. Do you want to add anything?
No, I think that's a good example as well. International studies is a subject that I had not studied before coming here. It's something that I explored in the general education requirement and found out that I really love it. And so this is just for passion. I realized that like I'm definitely going to complete the minor just because I took some classes for interests. So why not also like declare a major in it so I get an advisor? And so that's what I did. And yeah, it's something like, you know, that ignites some interest of yours that you might have never realized.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. And I think, Maril, you mentioned professors, and what I want to add here is your professors are like your best friends in the classroom because they're there to help you. And at Center, all of our professors have PhDs, so we don't have teaching assistants who teach class. All the classes are taught by professors. So this would be a little different if you go elsewhere at a larger university, but here you are interacting with your professors who teach in the classroom, but they also offer office hours where you can go and get help about, classroom materials, but you can also talk to them about your aspirations, what you want to do for internships, research, all those kind of things, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. So great. The next thing that I want to sort of ask the panelists is about experiential learning opportunities. So things like research, internships, study abroad, study away. And I want to ask Maril about study away trip that he's done recently. So Maril, you recently returned, even though I say recently, it's been a couple of months, but last semester you were studying away at one of our study away programs in New York City. Could you talk a little bit about the program, what you did in one of the most exciting cities in the world, and what you learned from this whole experience?
Yeah, I'd like to actually fact check you on that. I did not recently return from New York City. I'm actually still there. At least my heart is still there because that's how much I love New York City. And I'm not joking when I say that. It's been like a very essential and fundamental like experience of my entire like study abroad or like studying in the US experience in total. So yeah, let me just talk about sort of like the general academic and internship experience there. So you're supposed to go there with, of course, a group of center students, and you take 2 classes alongside an internship, which goes for credit. And so the first part is, of course, finding that internship in which in the process you make a lot of networks and just connections in New York City. New York City is sort of like the hub for so many things, like literally like finance, fashion, theater. These are just some things that I can think on the top of my head, but opportunities are available for so many things. So I did an internship with a startup founder who's creating an app using a dating app using AI, and I performed like interface design for them for the duration of my internship, which was an amazing experience, although it was a little bit unorthodox. There was a lot to learn because it's a startup, like dipping my hands in several fields and types of experiences. Apart from that, the classes help your experience a lot. Like they enhance your experience so much more, just because these classes are framed for students that are visiting New York City. So the first class is a history class about the history of New York City, and the second one is a theater class And now both of these classes are also like exploratory. So you, in the history of New York City, you actually go visit different parts of New York City. There's different boroughs in New York City. There's Brooklyn, Manhattan, Staten Island, Bronx, and Queens. You visit every single part of New York City in these very detailed field trips with your guide, who is your professor, history professor, who is a Manhattan Borough like approved historian of New York City, like by the city. So he has so much knowledge. He's literally like a book. And he just makes your experience so much more dynamic and layered. Just seeing how the city has played such a huge role for immigrants and like people coming into this country. And you yourself being an international student, I feel like that's a huge experience. For myself as well, I feel like this experience was so important because coming in as an international student, sometimes Danville is going to be the first place you're going to visit in the United States. And that was for me as well. But New York City really gave me that sort of like other experience of the United States, where I actually got to experience some of the like, realities on the streets and in this world. And it's just fantastic. There's so much to offer from New York City, and once you go there, you will find your tribe, you'll find your thing. The other class that I want to also talk about is the theater class, which basically you watch plays throughout the semester. And New York is known for Broadway, which is this big theater industry, biggest in the United States. And you go watch some Broadway plays as well as some off-Broadway and off-Broadway plays, which are like really small local theater plays. So all kinds of plays, and you watch, you assess them, just like basically learning how to appreciate that art. And it just gives that whole experience so much more impact. So yeah, that's all I can share in 2 or 3 minutes, but it's something that you have to experience to really understand what it's about.
Thank you for sharing that, Muriel. And obviously, based on what you shared, I think students here are able to sort of like at least imagine what it's like to not only study at Center, but study in a place like New York City through Center. And of course, the New York City Study Away program is one of 2 domestic study away programs. We have another one in Washington, D.C. And if you are interested in international studies, international affairs, non-governmental work, that's a program that students could do. But as many of you may know, we're also, Center is known for our study abroad program. So we don't just send students to New York City and Washington, D.C. We actually send our students all over the world for semester-long study abroad programs in places like France, Germany, UK, Ireland, Spain, the list goes on, China, Japan, Mexico, Ghana. So we have a lot of programs all around the world. And what you do as a Center student is you go abroad, just like Muriel did in New York City. You go abroad for a semester. You take classes from one of your Center professors who is traveling with you. At the same time, you may also be doing things in the host countries, taking some other classes. So there's a lot of opportunities for Center students, including international students, to go study at a third country, right? Because by coming to the US, you are already studying abroad because you're studying away from your home country, but you can go to a third country if you want to get that international experience. And we also have something called Center Term Study Abroad programs where Center students go all over the world for a short period of time. So the trips usually last about 2 to 2.5 weeks. And every year these trip changes. So that's another avenue for students to have those abroad and away experiences. Now, before we move on to another topic, I want to pose this question to Anna and Joseph as well. I know both of you have not studied abroad yet, but are there places that you're considering? Are there places that you're thinking of at this time?
For me, I also want to go to New York. That's my goal and destination. Even though I wanted to go to Japan initially, I feel like I want to experience more big city life in the US. So that's why I decided to go to New York instead of, so I'm gonna be going there my senior year fall. Um But yeah, that's my also the fact that you get an internship there and you get to attend like take the classes that are actually so interesting. I think that's just amazing. And also not worrying about housing because center will help you to find housing, and housing is stressful in New York. I'm sure about that. So having that luxury, I really need to take advantage of that. So I'm gonna
Just
go to
to
New
like
York.
add a little bit to the housing part, you get to live
Yeah.
in Brooklyn Heights, which is probably one of the best places you could live in New York City, for 3 months. There is a subway line that has stationed right under your building, so you don't even have to walk that much if you want to like go around the city. By the way, I use the subway almost every single day to a point where, like, in the last month of staying there, I stopped using Google Maps just because I knew how to navigate the subway just by the directions that are posted on like the signs. So
Yeah.
it's just it's an amazing program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like it's the goal.
For me, for me, I wasn't really attracted to the studying abroad program until I know one of my favorite professor is holding one in Mexico. She's leading a team to leading a group of students to Mexico, and I've been wanting to study Spanish for a long time, and I'm gonna take maybe 2 Spanish class in center, and going to a country that speak Spanish, living there, spending time there, and also hanging out with my professor is a very fascinating things to me. So Mexico is a really, I think it's my top one right now. Yes. Maybe New York City. New York City is also really cool. I've been there. That's my very first city to go to in the US. It was very nice.
Or you could do both,
Yeah.
both Mexico and New York City.
Oh.
Well, thank you all for sharing that. And Maril, I think navigating New York City without Google Maps, that's pretty impressive. I guess you're officially a New Yorker at that point. Well, great. I do want to also touch on, while we're still on the subject of experiential learning opportunities, I want to ask the panelists, particularly Anna, about research opportunities. So Anna, could you maybe tell us a little bit about some of the research opportunities you have had at Center so far? How do Center students supplement their coursework with research here on campus?
Yes. So um there's research in most of the like majors. So in science and natural science and computer science, data science and all that. Since I'm more on the natural science side of um the expertise, I would say. Um I did my research with my professor over summer. Since summer until now, I'm doing research with my professor, and we're learning relationship between drug addiction and hormones. So I think that's a very interesting experience to have, because for me, my future path is kind of directed towards clinical research. So that gives me a good chance of like building up those skills that will later help me to land an internship or something similar to that. So I think that was very helpful. And I stayed on campus during summer and I did that research with my professor. And a lot of my friends also stayed on campus and did research with their professors. They did in chemistry, in biology and so on. So it was a very nice experience. And in April, actually, and on like I think 16th of April, I'm going to Chicago to present our research for like 5 days. So I think that's very exciting to like do the research, work with your professor and like your peers that are doing research with you, and then do presentations about it and like talk to people about your research and also get to know people in that field and learn about more opportunities on like conferences and like presentations like that. So we definitely have that at center. And I think that's very nice.
Yeah, that's amazing. And congrats on being able to travel to what you said Chicago, right?
Yes.
5 days. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was just reading about a research conference that one of the international students from Brazil went to recently.
Erica. Yeah.
Erica, and I think she won the second place during
Really?
the conference for biology and chemistry section, I believe.
Yes.
So center students are, like you said, doing a lot of
Yeah.
research. And you said you did research during the summers, right? And you lived on campus.
Yes. Mhm. Yes.
Yeah.
And you also get paid for doing research if the professor has the funding for it, because they get funds for their research to do their research and like have student assistants, research assistants like that, like us. So you will also get paid for that. You also get, so you get money and you get great experience. So I think that's like the best combination.
That's right. Yeah. And I also want to mention, so Anna obviously did STEM research, but she
Mhm.
also mentioned that there are other type of research depending on what your field is. So when you think about research, it's not just STEM research that students are able to do. They're also able to engage in non-STEM, so humanities and social science research at center. They might not be as common, but those opportunities do exist. Whether it's, doing research on a particular country's political system, or, looking at how, countries work with their economic systems and economic policies. So there's a lot of different type of research. And I think one of the popular ones that you may have heard of in Center's Media is the data science project, where the data science program and the math program work with our athletics team to analyze. They do data analytics about different kind of sports strategies, because nowadays sports analytics are becoming really popular and very important depending on what you're doing. So some of the students are engaged in those type of analysis as well.
Yeah, and also to add on that, I think one of my friends, Gali actually, she told me that she was doing research about meditation and mindfulness during summer, something similar to that. So I think when I heard about that, I was like, that's so cool. Like she's actually doing research about that. So it's not only just science, there's a lot of things you can do research in.
Yeah. And I think the key to all of this is talking to your professors, because they're
Right.
the one who do a lot of these research, but they're also the one with the knowledge, and they're able to guide you into different opportunities
Yes.
that exist, right?
Yes, exactly.
Great. Joseph or Maril, do you guys want to add anything to this? Or did Anna and I did a good job?
Yes.
Great. Well, now moving a little bit away from studying, we also like to have fun on campus, and there are a lot of extracurricular activities and a lot of different fun things that you can be involved in. And I want to ask Joseph about some of the things that you're involved in. So could you tell us a little bit about extracurriculars at Center? What do students do for fun? What do you do for fun?
Yes, yes. So there are a lot of things that you can do at Center and also in Denville. Before coming here, I thought, Denville, I saw the pictures and everything. I thought all I can do is go to a field and then sit there, look at the stars. It'd be pretty nice, but I actually did a lot of things other than that. I would say the first thing is you have cool places to hang out with friends, and also there are a lot of clubs that takes you outdoor, a lot of different areas to explore. And for the Christian group that I'm with, they have monthly kayaking events. So we take some boats to a river and then we kayak there. It's very fun, and also there's a movie theater, right? Like maybe 5 or 6 minutes drive away, and then there are public transportations that can take you there, and that's also a thing. And also there are a lot of good coffee shops in town. And also, if you're interested in sports, we have a lot of sport club. For example, I'm in the I go to the badminton club regularly, and also he's actually taking the lead in organizing a soccer event, um operating on maybe weekly basis. That's the goal, but yes, last semester we played a lot and we had a lot of fun. And yeah, and also if you're interested in joining sports team, um, I worked with the soccer team last semester as the soccer manager. I do passes to the goalkeepers and they will try to catch it. It's super fun. It all started from I reached out to the coach, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, we have an opening, blah blah blah." And so if you're interested in that, also I know a friend. She did gymnastic when she was in high school, and then she also has some interest in diving, and she talked to the dive coach, be like, "Can I join the team?" And then the dive coach be like, "Yes." They did some evaluations, and then she joined the team. So there are a lot of different kinds of opportunities that you can have over here for fun. Yes, it's just yes, it depends on your interest. So yes, we have yes.
That's a lot of things that you're doing. And yes, you mentioned soccer, and I think a couple of students on this call know what we're talking about, the pickup soccer thing. I sent out a survey, so Joseph, if you haven't filled it out, please do.
Okay.
So what we're talking about is basically pickup soccer or football if you're not in the US. So obviously we have varsity athletics team that play in, we're a Division III school, so we play. But for students who are not athletes, you can still have fun playing those sports. So we have intramurals. There are different intramural seasons. So you play in a league. Soccer was one of them. Basketball was the other. And there are a couple of other intramural sports that we play. But now that intramural season for soccer is over, we still play pickup soccer. So that's when faculty, staff, and students show up on one of these fields and we just play soccer for fun. And it's really fun if you enjoy playing soccer. But beyond that, obviously, there's a lot of other things that students get to do. And I also want to ask Maril and Anna about some of the events that we hold here on campus. I know there are a couple that are coming up for the rest of the spring. So, Maril, do you want to talk about some of the events that are coming up for students?
Yes. So yeah, there's a lot of events happening on campus throughout the year. I mean, the campus has a lot of clubs and organizations that host events. Like these are all student-led initiatives. Students are really encouraged to make organize events here. So if you are an event planner, definitely join a club and plan some events, because not only the community will appreciate you, they will also support you. And the best part is center funds you for all these things, so you don't have to worry that much about it. So yeah, so we have I'm like I said before, I'm part of the South Asian Cultural Association. I've been in the exec of ISA as well in the past. We've hosted numerous events in just the 3 years I'm here. One of the ones that is coming up is one of our biggest South Asian club events, which is Holi. We're celebrating it. The day for Holi was Monday, but we're celebrating it on campus on 30th March, which is this Saturday, incoming Saturday. The weather looks good, and in the afternoon we're gonna have like lunch, like South Asian food brought from the a nearby city, and then we're gonna have a color celebration. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're ordering tons of colors. I think it's 750 packets or such. And it's gonna be so much fun every year for the last 2 years I've been able to organize this event, and it's been a hit every single year. So it's gonna be so much fun. I'm really excited for that. Same day in the evening, we have another event that I'll let Anna talk about, because she's also part of it. But yeah, just saying, every now and then, like, especially on the weekends, you'll see some affinity club or some organization organize like dinner. Like there's the AAPIC organization, which is the Asian American Pacific Islander Coalition. There's like BSO, Black Students Organization. There's so many other clubs and organizations that host, like Chinese Club will host like food events, like cultural food events, and it's going to be so much fun. Like the International Student Association is there as well for some big events. So yeah, Anna, you can take it from here.
Yeah, so thank you, Merle. Yeah, I'm part of International Student Association, so we plan a lot of events for international students, and also anyone is welcome to join. But yeah, one of the biggest ones some of the biggest ones we have is Tea Gala and Intercultural Ball. So the Tea Gala is something that we bring tea from different countries, and then we have a lot of music. We have talent show where people just like perform, they dance, sing, or whatsoever, and then we also have a lot of dances. And for Intercultural Ball, they also dress up in their cultural clothes and just dance a lot, eat great food. So that event is actually in planning process, which is gonna be in April, by the end of April, at the end of April. And it's gonna be very fun. But now we have night market coming up, which is collaboration of 10 clubs. So it's gonna be Black Student Organization, International Student Organization, South Asian Cultural Association, AAPIC, and a bunch of other clubs. Vietnamese Student Association, Chinese Club, and so many clubs together. So it's gonna be food from everywhere, basically, from like every part of the world. And we're gonna have a lot of people come to the event, and I'm very excited. I'm also gonna be cooking some Eastern European food with some of my Eastern European cooking colleagues. So we're gonna make some food and kind of serve it to people that are gonna be there. So I would say that there's always something to do on campus, and I'm always looking forward to those events, and like having the pleasure of planning them is also a very cool thing. So you're always welcome to start your own thing or just join any exec team of those organizations. But yeah, those are the main events, but we have like smaller events that are throughout the semester as well. But yeah.
The motto here is we work hard, we play hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. I appreciate you all for sharing those, and I'm excited to be at those events as well. I think the benefit of being at Center is we get to go to all these events because it's open to the community, right?
Yeah.
Great.
Also, sorry, I'm just gonna say one last thing. So those clubs are being funded from SGA, Student Government Association, right? And then you don't have to make a club just for like getting it to be funded. I would say like I just have my dance club, if you want to call it. We just dance every Friday with my friends, like 5 or 6 of my other friends, and we just have fun. And it's not officially a club, but we call it a little dance club. So you can always do those little things too. You don't have to make everything official.
Yeah, lots of things to do, that's for sure. Now we're turning away from fun, and there'll be more fun, I promise. I want to talk a little bit about resources on campus, and there will be another webinar in about a week from today, talking about some of the resources on campus. But Muriel and Joseph, what are some of the resources and services that you have utilized here at Center, and how have they helped you? So it could be academic resources outside of classes. What are some of the resources that you have utilized so far?
go first. As a first year, I don't think I used all the resources on campus yet, but there are a lot of the offices and also the resources that I've used that help me a lot. For example, the tutorings. So Center has peer tutor thing called peer tutor. It's like you go to someone who's taken the class before will apply to be the tutor, and they will hold regular sessions like Anna, she's the German tutor. Oh yes, and then I myself is the Chinese tutor. And if you're in those classes and if you're having a hard time or you just need some assist on your homework, you can just go to the regular the tutoring session, the regular tutoring session in the week they have, and it's extremely helpful. And also, I went to the center has a career center, which helps you on developing your resume, and also they help you with they actually help you with writing or formatting the resume you have, and also looking for internship opportunities, and also schools or also professions that you are intending to that you're looking at. And also I will just say one more thing and I'll leave the rest to Marilla. Also Anna actually introduced me to this center has great mental health like counselors that you can talk to whenever you feel stressed, or you just need someone to talk to. They can always be your ears. And I tried it out. It's really good. It's really helpful. And it's confidential, so they will not tell anyone the things you told them. So I appreciate that a lot. So yes, it's very helpful.
I think you took most of it. So those were some really valuable resources that Joseph just mentioned. I think those are some resources, especially like the career services and tutoring hours. These two are resources that you would probably frequent as an international student, also like concerned about your career. That's where I made my resume, my LinkedIn profile. That's where like I went for New York City. It's a really helpful resource on campus. Apart from that, I can also say like the library has a bunch of really cool resources. Of course, there's tutoring usually happens in the library, but downstairs there's the writing center, which helps you with like writing papers. So as a liberal arts student, you will definitely be writing papers in one class or the other. You can't escape it, even if you are a STEM major or whatever major. You'll be having to write papers at some time. And so writing those papers, helping you with sources. The librarians are really good for that as well. With sources and citations, there's librarians that are specialized in different disciplines of like data and just like finding sources for. But apart from that, Writing Center helps you with just like helping you write an essay from scratch to proofreading. So all the steps of that. Apart from that, the library basement also has another resource that I frequent. It has a different name now. I think it's called Create Center, Create Space. It's like this lab in the basement where there's like a couple of different types of computers that have a lot of like softwares, like professional softwares installed on there. I myself being a designer, I use like I like to use Adobe softwares, especially like XD and just like Photoshop in general. So I go there often. There's like all these software, like professional software, are installed on these computers for free. And of course, there's like 3D printers, audio visual equipment and such over there as well that you can like reserve and use. So that's a really helpful resource as well, in my opinion. Yeah, that's about it. I think Joseph has another one to add.
Sorry, Mario, for cutting you off if I did. I just like to add something really important, I think, for international students. So Center has great international student services. It's an office designed for international students solely. And uh what the help I got is incredibly huge. So they do the director I'm not sure if Jessica is the associate director or she's the director, but she's the person, she's the handler. And she handles legal issues, and also I got my social security number with her help, and also uh driver's permit, and also driver's license. That's it's like a yes, they cover a lot of stuff. And
Actually, really helpful. Yeah.
yeah, it's really
It-
helpful.
I don't
And
know where you can find somebody who will help you get a driver's license, especially an adult. So I think Jessica's really helpful for doing that.
yes. And then yeah. So international student services. Yes.
That's a great point. I think you all mentioned a couple of different services that are resources and services that are available to international students and center students, and of course Jessica Leonard, who is, I think some of you may have already heard from her if you have officially enrolled, because she's the person who helped you with the visa application process. But not only that, while you are an international student here on campus, she's the one who takes care of you. I think most international students will, in an endearing way, refer to her as their center mom, because she takes care of all of the international students. And you'll get to meet her next week because we're holding a webinar with Jessica and a couple of other folks who help support international students on campus. So right now we're obviously talking about it from the perspective of students, but you'll also get to hear it from the staff perspective about what they're doing to support students on campus. So I won't go into too much detail today, but if you're curious about it, come to our next webinar, but also bring your parents, because I think parents and families are also interested in hearing what Center has to offer to their students, to their children. So I think it would be a great session for your parents and your families to attend as well. And I'll drop the registration link for you later on. I know we're we're almost at time, and I have one last question for you, and then we'll open up the floor for your questions. And this is to all of the panelists here. So Anna, Maril, Joseph, if you have to describe your center experience in one sentence, what would you say? And after that, if you have one final advice for students making their college decisions right now, what would that advice be? So it's a two-parter. Have at it.
Sorry, Maril.
No, Joseph, you go first.
Sorry. I will say it's incredibly diverse, international, student friendly, and also very a supportive place for you to chase your dream, or even exploring what your dream might be. And my advice will be utilize the resources. Yes, it's free and it's there for you. So yes, just knock on the door and ask a couple questions. That's what I did, and it's extremely helpful. Yes.
I think I'll go first. I'll go second. And I'll say, to describe my center experience in one sentence, it would be community and collaboration. I think these two are big things here. I would say definitely, like, center is all about community, making friends, having friends, like, being in touch with so many people at the same time. And also that diversity of people, that Joseph mentioned, like your community is going to be diverse if you do have friends here. So that's a really cool thing. And then collaborate for sure. Collaborate with your professors, collaborate with your friends, collaborate with strangers. Just collaborate, yeah. Because you bring something new, right? In a lot of other countries, there's this culture of competing instead of collaborating with the community around you. So here you can forget about that and create. So what was the other thing to do? Advice, yes. Advice, this is advice I usually give on webinars. Check your emails and get comfortable with responding to emails quickly. I think it will definitely help you right now, as like at whatever step you are, admitted or not, checking your emails often and replying to them, getting comfortable with replying to emails and sending emails is one really helpful skill. It keeps you active and engaged with whoever is on the other side, because email is a very slow form of communication and it can be very unhuman. Like it doesn't have that human element, like sort of like the depth as much as talking and looking at someone talking has. So try to get comfortable with that. But yeah, that's the only advice I would give right now. Enjoy your life as much as possible.
I was about to say collaboration, but real real said that because I feel like uh as soon as like when I came to center, I felt so much support from everyone else, like from friends, from like upperclassmen that are like I'm constantly asking for advice for, and just like all the services that we have, and also professors. So I would say collaboration is a big thing on campus, whereas like also back in the country, it's more competition than collaboration. Um, yeah, and they help you to get to your end goal more effectively. Um, for the advice, I don't know, I was very stressed during the application process, decision process. It was very stressful, so I know what you guys are kind of going through. But I feel like whatever you commit to, that place will be for you. Like I committed to center, I was not sure, but I feel like this is where I belong. And there's a reason I committed to it, and I'm glad I did. So yeah, just listen to your heart and make your own decision. But I would say center is always welcome to more amazing students like you. But yeah.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing all of those advice, but also your insights. And I think it's helpful I hope it is helpful for all the students that are here on this call. But it is also certainly helpful for me to learn that the students that I've worked with in the past are finding, meaningful opportunities and experiences here as international student. So yeah, that is the panel discussion